Good morning and welcome. You are with the Skeinz Diaries. I'm Maree, and it is Monday, the 17th of October, episode 202. I hope you're having a great day at your place today. Sun is shining here. Finally, it's lovely. It's been so enjoyable to see the sun again today. It's been a bit far and few between this spring here, but it is so nice to have it back. So I hope everything is going really well at your place. The intentions. I had the world's greatest intentions to do a swagger knitting over the weekend. Didn't quite happen. Didn't quite go as according to plan as I would have liked to have gone. It was a little slower than, yeah. You know, when you have all these plans, you think, right, this is what I want to do, and it just didn't happen. It didn't happen because I thought if I got a really good clear weekend of it, I'd have a completed Fox Bay to show you. No, not quite, but that's all right. That's all right. I'm going to show it to you now, and I've sort of folded it to make it easy. I'm getting there. I'm getting so close now. I can almost taste it. I now have a completed sleeve. So for those just tuning in, and it's covered in dog hair, I'm so sorry. For those just tuning in, this is Fox Bay by Erica Knight from Rowan. And I have a sleeve, a completed sleeve. As I alluded to last week, I was potentially going to make modifications to the sleeve because obviously this is a drop-shouldered sleeve. And I prefer more bracelet length sleeves than really long full length sleeves. They drive me crazy. So I sort of had a little play around. I got to the end of the decreasing with the sleeve, and then it had a portion of rib which was 9 centimeters, and it's just that extra 2 or 3 centimeters, 3 centimeters on the rib that was just going to take it too far for me. And I think they'd done it that length because they sort of anticipated that you would fold that sleeve over if required. I don't like doing that. So I've only made an ever so slight modification with this. And that is I have knit it as instructed to this point here. And the 2 changes I've made is that in their instruction, they actually have this rib also knitted in the 4.5 millimeter needle, which gives you this very lovely, gentle, slouchy rib like we have down here. Sorry, I've got, this is the trouble when you live with all these pets. So you have this lovely, gentle rib at the bottom. Because this is going on a sleeve, and I've actually gone a bit traditional, I've gone a bit retro, and I've actually done this ribbing on 3.5 millimeter needles. So it is actually a nice puckered clingy rib, and I have done that quite deliberately, and I think that from a fit perspective I will be much happier with that. So that's sleeve number 1. And if I jump over to here, you'll see where I've got my active needle. As you can see, I'm halfway down sleeve number 2. So I just really need to finish this sleeve and then do my V in the back, sew the sides up, and I am done like a Duns dinner, really. So all finished. I'm really, it's actually been a really pleasurable thing to knit. It hasn't been a chore at all. And I think it's because it's essentially a stocking stitch project with enough little quirks and twists and turns to keep me interested. But so many of the projects I've completed of late have had some sort of stitch patterning or been a little bit more complex. So to actually have a project that is just really pretty good mindless knitting has been really nice. Actually, I've quite enjoyed it. So that will be done and dusted very, very soon, and I'll get it all de-animaled and so I can show it off for you. And I need to pick some buttons, and I'm going to hit the vintage button tin first to see what I have got in there. But that is where I'm going with that. So we are absolutely rocking along with the current project. Speaking of current projects, I noticed a number. I did have a little look to see how people were progressing with the mystery knit along with West Knits. I have to say I really liked the first clue. I'm not going to do too many spoilers, but there was an element in there, which I thought was quite genius. I've seen it done with fabric. I've never seen it done with knitting, or I've seen it done with single threads, and it was really, really genius. Great use of colour. I can see that is going to be a technique he's going to roll out again and again, just knowing him as I do. And then the second clue actually, has extended it. I think that this is going to be a goodie. This mystery knit along, from what I can see so far, it's looking really sharp. So if you haven't cast on that yet and you've been a bit sort of, I have to say what I've seen so far, I like it better in these initial stages than shawlography. And in fact, it's almost sort of up there with some of the other earlier, I think it's almost up there with not Starflake, it's Starflake. Yeah, it's because I really like that one. It's nice. It's really, really nice. Wendy's just saying there's a really enjoyable, but there is a large amount of knitting. That's a comment, Wendy, that I have seen again and again, actually, is the large volume of knitting that's involved. So it looks quite nice, rhythmical, sort of once you get into the little quirky technique. I think once you get your head around that, I think it looks pretty good. So there's plenty of good knitting to be had out there. And as you can see, I have this glorious number behind me. This is the Maree vest, knitted by Delene, and she did this for us a couple of weeks ago. And this vest features in the free 100-year collection. Was it 100-year, 75-year collection from Patons? And it is fabulous, absolutely fabulous, and we love it. And this vest is, whilst it is modelled, I've got it on a newsletter this morning, whilst it's modelled on a man, we all know that you don't, it's a vest. Anybody can use it. And I could see this. This vest we've done actually in quite a large size because we've done it so it'll probably end up going home to our house eventually. But it is, you could actually do it shorter and in a smaller size if you wanted to wear it over a dress or a full skirt. It would look amazing. Absolutely amazing. So this is done in our brand new Brigadoon. So if you've been local and you've been able to visit, we've had Brigadoon in the shop since last week, but it has gone live this morning, and there she is. Isn't that fab? I love this. It is, if you're just listening, it is rich bottle green with teals and a little bit of rust and slight hints of gold as a genuine heathered yarn. Peter's really outdone himself with this. It is utterly stunning, really stunning. And that's why we got it knitted up in this classical vest, because we just think that is the perfect pattern for it. I forgot to grab, we've got a children's one out there as well, a little matching pair. They look incredible. This Brigadoon in Fox Bay, I've done my Fox Bay in vintage abroad, but I think this Brigadoon DK in that Fox Bay would look actually quite incredible. It would look amazing. And just so you can have it for comparisons, that's the Scotch Mist with the Brigadoon. So you've got the blues and the greens. And even if you were doing a bit of colour work, actually, those two together in colour work would look amazing because they're nice and contrasty, dark and light. And the next colour arriving is a really deep, rich berry shade that will, again, complement these two absolutely beautifully. So we're utterly delighted with these. This is what's left over of, I think this is what's left over from the sample that, what do I leave? Oh, I think it's probably just left over from the swatch sample that I did, but it's got a great handle and feel actually. I'm really pleased with it. Like it's because it's not hank dyed and it's stock dyed, which I explained the other day. So that's when we actually dye the fibre before it's blended. It then means that once it's gone through its process and it's been spun, the last step for this yarn is what we call superbering, and that's a steaming process. It's kind of like one of those industrial hotel toasters that you used to get, and you'd put your toast in one end and it goes along in a conveyor belt, and then bread in one end and then it pops out as toast at the other. Well, this is sort of the yarn version of that, and you pop the yarn, sort of gets snaked in at one end and it kind of goes on a conveyor, literally snaked around like this, and runs through, and there's 4 lanes, and it's steam. It's a steamer. It's a whopping great big steamer, and it steams, and it actually then, because this is just steamed, it's got a beauty. You can see the bounce. Look at the bounce on that. This incredible bounce. It's amazing. So we're really delighted with it, and the handle is fantastic. Joanne's asking, is Brigadoon kind of similar to the Trilly Myrtle teal? It's deeper, Joanne. It is, the truly myrtle one is definitely more of a teal. This is more of a bottle with little teal hints to it. So those 2 yarns actually would work quite well together. But this has definitely got it's got more of a bottle green element to it, with teal undertones, or teal accents, if that makes sense, and obviously quite a solid fleck of rust and gold. Whereas the courage, I think it's courage, and the blue, the tealy blue, you can sort of see the dark flecks from the brain engage from the base yarn. So it is, yeah, they are complementary, but not super close, if that makes sense. It's gorgeous, utterly gorgeous, and it feels great too. Like, I know, I just think it feels great knitted up. We're really delighted with it to get this sort of result from, yarns that are great everyday yarns. And the best, I mean, part of the reason we've done this is, as I said, sometimes to look forward you have to look back, and we've gone and brought back this technique. I mean, it's something that Peter did way back when he first started with the company, many moons ago. But the thing I love about it is that it's being able to maximize and appreciate these incredible fibers, these fibers that are grown, this beautiful, wonderful, bouncy fiber that's grown locally and made here locally. And we can also then have a yarn like this, 100-gram format, $8.95. I mean, everything at the moment is going up at ridiculous prices. I mean, it just, honestly, it's a real fight for Claire and I, and just to try and keep costs on everything down, and to be able to bring out really stunning yarns like these and actually maintain fantastic value has, for us, is something we're quite proud of, because we just understand that everything's costing everybody so much more today. So we're working so hard to do that. Speaking of flight, we have got the flight coming in very, very soon, and I'm going to pop a note out about this probably for tomorrow, but I'm going to let you guys know that the flight that is going out currently at $5.95 will be the last flight of that price. And unfortunately, the new container that's just come in, the US dollar has shot us in the foot. The last 2 containers we've had, essentially our New Zealand dollar has dropped precipitously over the last 2 containers. And it literally fell through the floor with this last one. So we are going to have to put a small price increase on the flight. At the moment, it's $5.95. I think it's going up to $6.50, I think. I have to check with Claire. We've tried to keep it as low as we possibly can. So the current stocks that we have on the shelf at the moment and online will be the last in that price. So we will probably put I just need to talk to Claire. I think the ship has now landed. We're just going to see when it turns up here, and anything. So all the new stock that comes through will be at the new price. So you may even notice that some things are different prices, and that will be why. And then we'll probably rotate everything out. Probably from 1st of November, will be all at the new price, because as we move through the last of the old stuff. In fact, I'll talk to Claire. We may even have a wee special on the older stuff to move it through into the new batch. This is how we make decisions. We sort of come up with stuff on the fly. Jenny, when we'll have more of the wool wash? Funny you should mention that. The bottles arrived, but what was holding us up with the bottles? The bottles arrived late last week. So, and I think we've got labels on order, so they're not far away, Jenny. Imminent is the term I can use for that. I hate to break it to you, that's gone up too. Everything has gone up. I know, fun and games. However, it's not all bad news. It isn't all bad news. This also arrived. I saw this sitting on the. There's a couple of other things that have arrived too. One that Madam wouldn't let me talk about. I got quite excited. I said, oh, I can talk about that. She went, no. That's right. I'll work on her. Don't worry. I'll work on her. I mentioned these the other day. These for school holidays, which I know the kids are back today, but we've got some more of these, and these went super well, these weaving kits. If you have got a little person, Jenny, just order them online, darling. We'll have plenty, so don't worry. We have, what have we got? We have two of these, both the monochrome and the coloured. If you've got crafty people in your life, these make fantastic Christmas presents. So I know I've said the C word. I have said the C word. I've said the C word. If you want to start planning your Christmas shopping, those are great Christmas gifts if you've got crafty little people in your life, or even older people in your life. And what they make is a mini version of what, there you go, sitting on the wall behind me, just there, which is the one that Heather made, and it is amazing. So they're loads of fun. So those are now back in stock. And then once you've got that sort of kit, that's the kit for everything there, but then you've got the loom and you can do whatever you like after that. So that's amazing. The other thing that have just arrived, and with these I've just grabbed 3 colours. These we've never had these before, but we've had people ask them, and they are the silk merino scarf kits, which are really fun felted kits. So you get the fibre, all the instructions, how to do it, and you make this beautiful scarf, silk merino scarf. They're stunning. It's a really fun project to do. These are going to be $19.95. Absolute amazing gift. So again, if you want to make up some really incredible gifts, handmade gifts to give to people for Christmas this year, but you don't want to spend an absolute bomb, I think this is a great idea. And it's also a great gift if you've got crafty people in your life and you want to give them something special. So we're just, I'm going to work on getting those up this afternoon. We've got there's a whole heap of colours. We've got all the colours that we could. And they are gorgeous. And they're from Ashford's again. So we had a big Ashford order come in. So we're pretty excited about that. It's really cool, actually. Karen is asking, considering a cardigan pattern that has a 23 stitch gauge, pattern yarn is rowan felted tweed, Brigadoon, 5-ply or 8-ply. Right. I'm going to say 5-ply for that, because I do know that yarn, the rowan felted tweed, and it is at the lighter end of 8-ply as a yarn, Karen. I would definitely do the 5-ply sport weight for sure. And I get 24 stitch tension on this using a 3.75 millimeter needle. So that's what I would be doing. I would definitely be doing the 5-ply, and you get that lighter fabric. And knowing where you are, I think that probably is a better option, unless you wanted a denser, lusher fabric, then go the DK. But if it were me knitting it, that's what I would be doing for sure. That's my advice on that. Helen is asking, it's a shame that prices are going up. Trust me, Helen, it's a shame. But we are working super, super hard at keeping things as affordable as we can. So we're working really hard at that. So that's why we just love this stuff so much, because we're able to keep it and do it at a price that's really, really reasonable. So that's awesome. So good. What other news do I have for you coming up this week? I'm working on seeing if we can get another dip through this week, because that would be fun towards the end of the week. And that's what I had to tell you. I knew there was something else. I'm going to do a precursor of it today. We will be closed in the shop on Friday because it is our anniversary day, but open on Saturday. So if you are making the pilgrimage across to the bay for the long weekend, we will be open on Saturday but closed on Friday, because that is a public holiday here as well. So do just sort of pop that in your diaries if you are making a visit. But if you are making a visit, we would love to see you. So we will be here, and it's quite exciting because that's good timing. Come here. I'm doing the live video, and I've been talking about, pull up a chair.
Oh. The Heathers.
The Heathers. Look who's just walked in. There we go. And we'll do this so everyone can see you.
Hello, team.
There we go. I've been telling them about how when you first started, I told them last week, but when you first started, this was like one of your first jobs in the industry was making all these beautiful colours, and here you are again.
This is called a Lovat, L-O-V-A-T-T, and it was green Lovat, and it's got 7 colours in it. And to get the effect of the heather mix, you put strikingly strong colours like a hot pink or a purple or a yellow, but they're only in at 5%, but they have the effect. So the base is a dark green and a navy, and then you put these effect fibres on it, and you end up with a lovely colour. And we've got 4 of them coming to start with. 4 of them.
With. So there's the we've been talking about, because this one's another one too. Like when you actually see the colours that are in this, you think, oh,
yeah. But then that's Scottish Mist.
Yeah.
So I made that in Dannevirke in 1975, first time. Shows you I'm an old boy, doesn't it?
I know.
All right.
It's really good.
Good
I'm
stuff.
nearly done. Are you disappearing shortly?
Yes, I am. If you're nearly finished, I'll hang fire.
Yes, no, I'm not far away.
Happy knitting, everybody.
Oh, there you go. Hey, thank you. I won't be long. Oh, that was a treat. That is such a treat. So as you can see, it is true. Peter has been making these for a really long time. Super long time. So what was I saying before? Yes, we're going to be closed on a Friday, but we're definitely around the rest of the weekend. And the other exciting thing, of course, is the very first ship is due in here in Hawke's Bay on Monday. We've missed the cruise ships. Of course, typical, it's on Labour Day, so we're not open, but the second ship, which is the following weekend, is the following Saturday. So that's really, really exciting for all of us to have us there. So that is awesome. So I better go and catch up with this one. I know he's got things he needs to show me. You will take care. I will talk to you again on Thursday before we break off for the long weekend. And yeah, as I said, fingers crossed. I hope to get up those scarf kits today. And I've got a few other little bits and pieces I'd like to get up across this week as well. But just keep an eye on your inbox because I'll make sure I send it out in terms of a newsletter so you can find out what's going on. So until then, I'll talk to you Thursday. Have a great week and happy knitting.